Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Again, hoping that you are on the other side, and starting to think I need some entrance music, some theme music when I walk in the room. But I hope you had a restful night's sleep. I certainly did, and I'm very excited to celebrate this Shabbat Chol HaMoed Pesach service with you guys. So one thing to note, and hopefully I have a simple fix for this next week. For those that are following along at home with the online version of our Siddur, as I explained to some of you, there are two versions of our prayer book. One that is just Shabbat, one that is Shabbat and festivals and weekdays and all of those. So we have the larger one, the one that includes weekdays and festivals, with very good reason, because we need them occasionally. But the online version is the Shabbat only, so hence the two different page numbers. So I think my simple solution to this is just ordering a copy of the Shabbat only, so I'll lead from that going forward. But for this morning, we're stuck kind of in the same place. So if you're following at home, my suggestion to you is, towards the little bottom of the reader, there should be something that looks kind of like 3 lines. It's usually a button that indicates the table of contents. So if you hit that button, a little side thing will pop open, and it will let you skip all the way ahead to where our service begins this morning. So it's Shabbat Morning 1. There are, believe it or not, 2 different versions of how to do Shabbat Morning in this Siddur. So if you look for Shabbat Morning 1, and it should take you very close to page 186 is where we'll begin, then it more or less follows in our regular order, and there's not, hopefully, too much bouncing around. But this way, if you ever need to quickly move from one section to the other in the prayer book, the table of contents button is going to be your way to go. So you just click it to open, and then you click the little X on the top left when it opens up to close it back up again. I hope that's helpful. We're all trying our very best, but I appreciate, again, the feedback that I get from you guys helps me to understand where we need further explanation or even different ways to go. So in any case, that's enough of that for now, and we'll just get started with our service the way we always do. Warm up a little bit with the nigun. Yallai la 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 la, yallai la 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 la, yallai la 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 la, yallai la 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 la, yallai la 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 la. Ya la la ya la 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 la, ya la 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 ya la la la, ya la la ya la la la, ya la 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 ya la la la, ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Shabbat Shalom. Before we get started, let's just take a moment for ourselves. Just close our eyes, reflect a little bit, breathe a little bit. So we open our eyes, let's take a deep breath in, a deep breath out, and we'll open our Siddurim to page 186. As I said, the beginning of Shabbat Morning 1 on the online version, as we begin our service with thanks and gratitude. Modeh ani lefanecha melech chai v'kayam, modeh ani lefanecha melech chai v'kayam, modeh ani lefanecha, modeh ani lefanecha. I offer thanks to you, Adonai, ever-living sovereign, that you have restored my soul to me in mercy, How great is your trust. We skip ahead now to page 192, at the very top of the page, Ma Tovu. Ma Tovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Yisrael. Ma Tovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Israel. We turn now to page 195, and we'll read together in English at the top of the page, a blessing for our bodies. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe. With divine wisdom you have made our bodies, combining veins, arteries, and vital organs into a finely balanced network. Wondrous maker and sustainer of life, were one of them to fail, how well we are aware, we would lack the strength to stand before you. Blessed are you, Adonai, source of our health and strength. Baruch atah Adonai, rofeh chol basar umachli lasot. Page 196. A prayer for our souls. Elohai neshama shenatata bi tehorahi. 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 We'll join together on the bottom of the page, on page 196, as we read in English. My God, the soul you have given me is pure. You created it, you shaped it, you breathed it into me, and you protect it within me. For as long as my soul is within me, I offer thanks to you, Adonai, my God and God of my ancestors, source of all creation, sovereign of all souls. Praised are you, Adonai, in whose hand is every living soul and the breath of humankind. Baruch atah Adonai, asher bi'ado nefesh kol chai, veruach kol b'saish. We rise as we turn to page 198, Nisim B'chol Yom, our blessings for daily miracles. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan l'safri bina l'avchin ben yom u'ben layla. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hokeach ivrim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, matir asurim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, zokef kefufim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, rokah haaretz al hamayim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamechin mitzadei kaber. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, malbish arumim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, anoten le'haif koach. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamavir shena me'inai u'tnuma me'afapai. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani b'tzelem Elohim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani ben chorim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, ozer Yisrael b'gvura. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, oter Yisrael b'tifara. Please be seated at home. We're on page 204 at the top of the page, first in Hebrew and then the bottom of the page in English, our blessing for the study of Torah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. O Adonai, our God, let the words of Torah be sweet in our mouths and the mouths of your people Israel, so that we, our descendants and the descendants of all your people Israel, may know you by studying your Torah for its own sake. Blessed are you, Adonai, who teaches Torah to your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai hamelamed Torah le'amo Yisrael. Page 206, top of the page. Elu devarim she'ein lahem shiur, she'adam ochel pirotehem me'olam hazeh, והקרן קיימת לו לעולם הבא, ואלו הן כיבוד אב ואם וגמילות חסדים, והשכמת בית המדרש שחרית וערבית, והכנסת אורחים וביקור חולים, והכנסת כלה לוויית המת ועיון תפילה, ואהבת שלום בין אדם לחברו, ותלמוד תורה כנגד כולם. We now rise at home if we're able as we turn to page 212 for the opening blessing of Pezukei Dezimra. Baruch shehamar ve'haya haolam baruch hu, baruch oseh bereshit, Baruch Omer ve'Yosef, Baruch Ozer u'Mekayem, Baruch Merachem al haaretz, Baruch Merachem al habriot, Baruch Meshalem Sachar Tov Lireav, Baruch Chalad ve'Kayam lanetzach, Baruch Podeh u'Matziel, Baruch Shemo, בשפחות ובזמירות נגדלך, ונשבחך ונפארך ונזכיר שמך ונמליכך, מלכנו אלוהינו, יחיד חיי העולמים, מלך משובח ומפואר עד יד שמו הגדול, ברוך אתה אדוני, מלך מהולל בתשבחות. Okay, please be seated at home. We're on page 214 now, and we're in the second line down in Hebrew. Tov leodot l'Adonai, Tov leodot l'Adonai, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon, Tov leodot l'Adonai, להגיד בבוקר חסדך, להגיד בבוקר חסדך, ואמונתך בלילות, ואמונתך בלילות, טוב להודות לאדוני. עלי אסור ועלי נבל, עלי גיון בכינור, כי שימחתני אדוני בפועלך, ומעשה ידך רנן. מה גדלו מעשיך היה, מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך. מה גדלו מעשיך היה, מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך. מה גדלו מעשיך היה, מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך. אשרי יושבי ביתך, עוד יהללוך, עוד יהללוך, ashrei yoshvei veitecha od yalelucha sela shem. V'anachnu nevarech ya me'ata v'ad olam me'ata v'ad olam me'ata v'ad olam Hallelujah Hallelujah Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Psalm 150, page 218. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 El Bekodsho, hallelujah, Bekiauzo, hallelujah, Bigvurotav, hallelujah, Kerov Gulo, hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 beteka shofar, hallelujah, benevel bechinor, hallelujah, betofu machol, hallelujah, beminim ve'ugav, hallelujah, 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 betziltzalei shama, hallelujah, betziltzalei trua, Kol hanshama tehalleliyah, hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Nishmat kol chai, tevarech et shimcha Adonai Eloheinu. Now on page 220 at the very top of the page. Ilu finu maleh shira kayam Ushoneinu rina kamon galav Vesivtotenu shevach kemacheve rakia Veinenu meirot kashemesh V'chayareach Ve'yadenu frusot kenishrei shamayim Ve'raglenu kalot kayalot Ein anachnu maspikim lehodot lecha Adonai Eloheinu Now on page 222, the second paragraph in Hebrew from the top of the page. Shochenan marom v'kadosh shemo v'chatuv ranenu tzadikim b'Adonai la yesharim na'ava tehillah Befi yesharim titalalu divrei tzadikim titbarachu bilshon chasidim titromamu bekerev kedoshim titkadashu ma'kehalot rivevot amcha beit Yisrael berina yitpa'ar shimcha malkeinu bechol dor v'ador yababai yababai bai 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 yababai yababai bai bai Yai bye bye ya bye bye ya bye 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 ay ya bye bye ya bye bye yai bye bye. We now rise as we turn to page 223 for the concluding blessing of B'zuke de Zimra, and we remain standing through the next few pages through the Chatzi Kaddish and the Baruch Hu. Again, page 223. Yishtabach Shimcha Alad Malkeinu Ha'el HaMelech HaGadol VeHaKadosh B'Shamayim u'Ba'aretz Ki Lecha Na'eh Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu Imotenu Shiru Shvacha Halal B'Zimra Ozu Memshala HaNetzach Gedula Ukura Tila V'Tiferet Kedusha u'Malchut Brachot ve'hodaot me'atva v'yad olam Baruch atah Adonai El melech gadol atishbachot El hahodaot Adon haniflaot Abocher b'shirei zimra Melech elchei ha'olamim Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabba Ve'alma divrach cherutei ve'amlich malchutei V'chayechonu v'yamechonu v'chayin l'chol Beit Yisrael V'hagala v'zman karim v'yimeru amen Yesh me'rabba mevarach le'alam le'almei almayah Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitbar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yit'ale v'yit'alal shemei dekudsha brichum Le'la min kol birchata v'shirata Tushmechata v'nechamata damiram ve'alma limeru amen Marechu et Adonai hamevorach Baruch Adonai hamevorach le'olam va'ed. Please be seated. We're now on page 228. We'll read in English together at the bottom of the page first, and then the 3 lines in Hebrew just above. Praised are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, creator of light and darkness, who makes peace and fashions all things. In mercy you illumine the world and those who live upon it. In your goodness you daily renew creation. How numerous are your works, Adonai, in wisdom you formed them all, filling the earth with your creatures. Be praised, Adonai, our God, for the excellent work of your hands, and for the lights you created, may they glorify you. Shine a new light upon Zion, that we all may swiftly merit its radiance. Praised are you, Adonai, creator of all heavenly lights. Or Chadash, Al Zion Ta'ir. Or Chadash, Al Zion Ta'ir. Venizkechu lanu, venizkechu lanu, me'era לכולנו מהרה לאורו. ידעי די בים בים בם, ידעי די בים בם, ידעי די בים בים בם, ידעי די די. Yadadai dai bim bim bam, yadadai dai bim bam, yadadai dai bim bim bam, yadadai dai dai, Baruch atah Adonai, Yotzer HaMeorot. Turn now to page 230, and we'll begin by reading together the English at the top of the page and then the Hebrew at the bottom. How deeply you have loved us, Adonai our God, gracing us with surpassing compassion. On account of our forebears, whose trust led you to teach them the laws of life, be gracious to us, teaching us as well. O merciful one, have mercy on us, by making us able to understand and discern, to heed, learn, and teach, and lovingly to observe, perform, and fulfill all that is in your Torah. V'ha'erinenu b'toratecha, v'dabek libeinu b'mitzvotecha, ויחל לבבינו לאהבה וליראה את שמך ולא נבוש ולא ניכלם ולא ניכשל לעולם ועד כי בשם קודשך הגדול והנורא בטחנו, נגילה ונשמחה, נגילה ונשמחה בישועתך. והביאנו לשלום, מארבע כנפות הארץ, ותוליכנו קוממיות, לארצנו, כי אל פועל ישועות אתה ובנו בחרת, וקרבתנו לשמך הגדול סלע באמת, להודות לך על יחידך באהבה, ברוך אתה אדוני, הבוחר בעמו ישראל באהבה. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. We're on page 234. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, bechol lebavcha, bechol nafshecha, bechol meodecha, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם ושבתך בביתך ולכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם להיות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. Page 236. ויאמר אדוני אל משה לאמור, דבר אל בני ישראל ואמרת עליהם, ועשו להם ציצית על כנפי בגדיהם לדורותם, ונתנו על ציצית על כנף פתיל תכלת, והיה לכם לציצית, וראיתם אותו, וזכרתם את כל מצוות אדוני ועשיתם אותם, ולא תטורו אחרי לבבכם מאחרי עיניכם, אשר אתם זונים אחריהם, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. Now on page 239, very top of the page, we'll read together. Emet, there is no place where you are not, even in the wilderness, there is your word. Emet, that pen strokes of lightning, white fire, black flame, stir the soul's passion, guide our sacred way, true and enduring as Torah. Your truth for us is certain and established, now and forevermore. Like Moses, Miriam, and all Israel, we sing out and rejoice. Bye 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 bye. Ya bye 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 ya bye 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 bye. Ay la 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 ya la 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 la. Tehilot le'elyon baruch hu mevorach Moshe u'Miriam u'bnei Israel lechanu shira b'simcha rabba ve'amru chulam mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh nora tehiloto sefele ya bye 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 ya bye 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 shira chadasha shibchu gehudim לשמחה על שפת הים, יחד כולם הודו, והמליכו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. Tzur Yisrael, Kuma Be'ezrat Yisrael, Ufedech Kenumecha Yehuda Ve'Yisrael, Go Aleinu Adonai Tzvahot Shemo, Kadosh Yisrael, Baruch Atah Adonai, Gal Yisrael. Okay, we'll begin the Amidah together on page 242 and then continue silently as we always do. Just remember that we have now switched to Morid Hatal in the second blessing of the Amidah, and also during the Avodah section of the Amidah we add the Yaleh V'Yavo or Pesach. Don't worry if you don't know what I'm talking about. When we do the repetition we will do it all together, but for those following at home, that's the instruction. And again, as always, go at your own pace, so when you're finished, you may be seated. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Okay, those seated at home, if you would please rise. If you're still standing, please remain standing as we turn to page 324 for the repetition of the Amidah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu Imotenu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor VeHanorah El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim Lekone HaKol Vezocher Chasdei Avot Ve'imahot ומביא גאולה לפני בניהם למען שמו באהבה מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני מחיי מתים אתה רב להושיע מוריד הטל מכלכל חיים בחסד נחיי מתים ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופך חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, ניחמוך בעל גבורות, ומידו מלך ממית ומחיה, ומהצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות מתים, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי המתים. On page 326. נקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישימו טוב בשמי מרום, ככתוב על יד נביאך, וקרא זה אל זה ואמר, קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, מלוך כל הארץ, כבודו. אדיר, אדירנו, אדוני, אדוננו, מאדיר שמך בכל הארץ, ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו. אחד הוא אלוהינו, ואבינו מלכנו, ומושיענו והוא ישמיענו ברחמיו לעיני כל חי. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהיך ציון לדור ודור. הללויה, לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור נגיד גודלך, לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור נגיד גודלך, ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש, קדושתך נקדיש, לשבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש, לעולם לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. Please be seated at home or on the top of page 329. ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת וקורא עונג שבת. ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת וקורא עונג שבת. מקדשי שביעי שבת, כולם ישמעו ויתענגו מטובך שבת. ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת וקורא עונג שבת. ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת וקורא עונג שבת. והשביעי רצית בו רצית בו וקידשתו שבת, חמדת ימים, אותו קראת שבת, ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי 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 שבת וקורא עונג שבת, ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי 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 שבת וקורא עונג שבת, זכר למעשה בראשית שבת, זכר למעשה בראשית שבת, ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי 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 שבת, לקורא עונג שבת. אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו, רצה רצה במנוחתנו, קדשנו במצוותיך ותן חלקנו בתורתך, שבנו מטובך ושמחנו בישועתך, וטהר ליבנו לעובדך באמת, והנחילנו אדוני אלוהינו, עין 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 באהבה ורצון שבת קודשך בנוחובה ישראל, מקדשי שמך, ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. We will now turn to page 330, and just as I indicated before, we'll read in English as we normally do. We'll pause right where there's a little asterisk and go to the adjoining page, page 331, to add our Yale V'Yavo, and then back for the final bracha on page 330. Hopefully you followed all of those instructions at home. On this Shabbat day, as you graciously receive our prayers, help us to hear your call. Grant us enough health to fulfill our duties and the compassion we need to attend to others. Teach us humility that we may perceive our own faults, and grant us the wisdom to be forgiving of others. Give us the courage to be true to our highest selves and the charity to see the best in those around us. Give us patience enough not to become discouraged, hope enough to overcome all fears for the future, and faith enough to know your presence. O source of blessing, look with favor upon us. May our offerings be acceptable to you. Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotinu ve'imotinu, ya'aleh v'yavo v'yizacher zichronenu, v'zichron kol amcha beit Yisrael lefanecha, letova, lechen, u'lechesed, u'lerachamim, lechayim, u'leshalom, b'yom chag hamatzot hazeh, zochrenu Adonai Eloheinu bo letova. Amen. Ufokdenu vo livracha. Amen. Ve'hoshienu vo lechayim. Amen. Our God and God of our fathers and mothers, on this day of Pesach, be mindful of us and all your people Israel for good, for love, for compassion, life, and peace. Remember us for well-being. Amen. Visit us with blessing. Amen. Help us to a fuller life. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, she'odcha levadcha b'yirah na'avon. Turn now to page 332 at the bottom of the page, our prayer for thanks and gratitude to God, and I'll read the paragraphs in English, and at home you can respond with the words Modim Anachnu Lach at the end. For the expanding grandeur of creation, worlds known and unknown, galaxies beyond galaxies filling us with awe and challenging our imaginations, Modim Anachnu Lach. For this fragile planet Earth, its times and tides, its sunsets and seasons, Modim Anachnu Lach. For the joy of human life, its wonders and surprises, its hopes and achievements, Modim Anachnu Lach. For human community, our common past and future hope, our oneness transcending all separation, our capacity to work for peace and justice in the midst of hostility and oppression. Modim anachnu lach. For high hopes and noble causes, for faith without fanaticism, for understanding of views not shared. Modim anachnu lach. For all who have labored and suffered for a fair world, who have lived so that others might live in dignity and freedom. Modim anachnu lach. For human liberties and sacred rights, for opportunities to change and grow, to affirm and choose. Modim anachnu lach. We pray that we may live not by our fears, but by our hopes, not by our words, but by our deeds. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulecha na'eh lehodot. Prayer for Peace, Sim Shalom, page 334. Sim Shalom, Tova uvracha, chen v'chesed v'rachamim aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol Yisrael ha'amecha, Barcheinu yotzreinu kulanu kechad, ve'or panecha. Ki be'or panecha natata lanu, Adonai Eloheinu. Sim shalom, tova uvracha, chen v'chesed v'rachamim aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, Ve'al kol Yisrael ha'amecha, Torat chaim ve'ahavat chesed, u'tzedaka u'beracha ve'rachamim nechaim ve'shalom. Sim shalom, tova u'bracha, chen v'chesed v'rachamim aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael ha'amecha, ve'tov einecha levarech, et amcha Yisrael, b'chol eit u'b'chol sham, b'shlomecha. Sim shalom, tova u'bracha, chen v'chesed v'rachamim aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael ha'amecha. Baruch atah Adonai, hamevarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom. Let's read together on the top of page 337. Prayer is not purely an act. All things pray and all things pour forth their souls. The heavens pray, the earth prays, every creature and every living thing. In all life there is longing. Creation is itself but a longing, a kind of prayer to the Almighty. What are the clouds, the rising and the setting of the sun, the soft radiance of the moon and the gentleness of the night? What are the flashes of the human mind and the storms of the human heart? They are all prayers, the wordless outpouring of boundless longing for God. Oseh shalom mimromav, uyaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Shabbat shalom, everybody. So since it's Chol HaMoed Pesach, we do Hallel on page 560. There are different traditions about whether to rise or to sit. Do whatever is most comfortable for you, but for the opening blessing and the closing blessing, we rise. Again, page 560, and I'll be facing the earth.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshenu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu likroa et ha'halel. Hallelujah, hallelujah, Abdei Adonai, hallelujah, et Shem Adonai. Yehi Shem Adonai mevorach me'ata v'yad olam. Mihi mizrach shemesh ad nevuo me'olal Shem Adonai. Ram al kol goyim Adonai al hashamayim kevodo. Mihi k'Adonai Eloheinu hamad bihi lashavet. Amashpili lirot bashamayim u'aretz. Mihi kimi me'afardal mashpot al yarim evyon. Leho shivim nedivim im nedivei amu. Moshivi akeret habayit lem habanim semecha. Hallelujah. We're on page 562. Betzeit Yisrael mitzrayim, Beit Yaakov me'am noez. Betzeit Yisrael mitzrayim, Beit Yaakov me'am noez. Hayta Yehuda lekodsho, Yisrael mamshelotav, Hayam vayanos, Hayarden isol leachor, Heharim rakedu chelim, Yevaot kivnei tzon, Malechayam. Gitanus Ayarden Tisov Leachor Eharim Tirkedu Chelim Gevaot Kivnei Tzon Milifnei Adon, Chuli Haaretz, Milifnei Elohai Yaakov, Haochi Atzur, Agam Hayim, Chalamish, Lemaino. And on page 563. Adonai zecharanu yivarech, yivarech et Beit Yisrael, yivarech et Beit Aharon, yivarech yirei Adonai, haketanim im hagdolim, Yosef Adonai aleichem, aleichem ve'al b'neichem, Beruchim atem l'Adonai, Oseh shamayim v'haaretz, hashamayim shamayim l'Adonai, ve'haaretz natan libnei Adam, lo hamitim yehalleluya, ve'lo kol yordei duma, v'anachnu nevarech yam, me'ata ve'ad olam, Me'ata ve'ad olam, hallelujah. Now on page 564, we'll read together in English at the bottom of the page. How can I repay Adonai for all God's bounties to me? I raise up the cup of deliverance and invoke the name of Adonai. I will pay my vows to Adonai in the presence of all God's people. The death of God's faithful ones is grievous in Adonai's sight. Adonai, I am your servant, the son of your maidservant. You have undone the cords that bound me, and I will sacrifice a thanks offering to you and invoke the name of Adonai. I will pay my vows to Adonai in the presence of all God's people, in the courts of the house of Adonai, in the midst of Yerushalayim. Hallelujah. Page 565. Hallelujah, Adonai, kol goyim שבחו, שבחו, כל האומים, כי גבר עלינו, עלינו חסדו, ואמת אדוני לעולם הללויה. הודו לאדוני, כי טוב, כי לעולם, כי לעולם חסדו. יאמרנה ישראל, יאמרנה ישראל, כי לעולם, כי לעולם חסדו. יאמרונה בית אהרון, יאמרונה בית אהרון, כי לעולם, כי לעולם חסדו. יאמרונה ירא אדוני, יאמרונה ירא אדוני, כי לעולם, כי לעולם חסדו. מן המצר קראתיה, עננים המרחביה. מן המצר קראתיה, עננים המרחביה. ענני, ענני, עננים המרחביה. ענני, ענני, עננים המרחביה. We turn now to page 567. פיתחו לי שערי צדק, עמו עמודיה. פיתחו לי שערי צדק, עמו עמודיה. זה השער לאדוני, צדיקים יבואו בו. זה השער לאדוני, צדיקים יבואו בו. עודך כי עניתני, ותהי לי לישועה. עודך כי עניתני, ותהי לי לישועה. אבן מסו הבונים, הייתה לראש פינה. אבן מסו הבונים, הייתה לראש פינה. מאת אדוני הייתה זאת, היא נפלאות בעינינו. את אדוני הייתה זאת, היא נפלאות בעינינו. זה היום עשה אדוני, נגילה ונשמחה בו. זה אשר עשה אדוני, נגילה ונשמחה בו. אנא אדוני הושיענה. אנא אדוני הושיענה. אנא אדוני הצליחנה. אנא אדוני הצליחנה. ברוך הבא בשם אדוני, ברך כולכם מבית אדוני, אל אדוני ויער לנו, יסרו חג באבותים. עד קרנות המזבח, אלי אתה ביודך, אלוהי ארוממך. אדוני לאדוני כי טוב, כי לעולם חסדו. We're on page page 567, we'll begin by reading the English in the middle of the page, and then the last lines, 2 lines in Hebrew, the bracha just above. All your works shall praise you, Adonai our God, and your faithful ones, the righteous who do your will. And all your people, the house of Israel, thank you in joyous song, and bless, praise, glorify, exalt, extol, sanctify, and proclaim the sovereignty of your name. For it is good to give you thanks and to sing praises to your name, because throughout all time to eternity you are God. Praise to you, Adonai, sovereign, praised in song. Baruch atah Adonai, melech mehulal, batishbachot. Okay, we're going to remain standing as we turn back to page 362, Seder Kriyat HaTorah, the Torah service. Again, remain standing. Ein kamocha Elohim Adonai v'ein kema'asecha malchutcha malchut kol olamim u'memshaltecha b'chol dor v'dor Adonai melech Adonai malach Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed Adonai oz le'amo yiten Adonai yevarech et amo v'shalom avarachamim leitiva b'rtzoncha et Zion tivnei chobot Yerushalayim ki b'cha levad batachnu melech el ram v'nisa Adon Tetzei Torah, Ki mitzion tetzei Torah, Udevar Adonai, miYerushalayim, Baruch Shenatan, Torah, Torah, Baruch Shenatan, Torah, Torah, Le'amo Yisrael, Mikdushato. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo. Gadol Adonai Tiyu Neromema Shemo Yachtav. Lecha Adonai Hagedula Ve'Hagevura Ve'Hatiferet Ve'Hanetzach Ve'Hahod Ki Chol Hashamayim U'Va'aretz Ki Chol Hashamayim U'Va'aretz Lecha Adonai HaMamlacha Ve'Amid Na'aseh Lechol Erosh Romemu Adonai Eloheinu Ve'ishtachavu Le'Har Kodsho Romemu Adonai Eloheinu Ve'ishtachavu Le'Har Kodsho. Okay, please be seated. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Moadim L'Simcha. So, because this is Shabbat Chol HaMoed, we have a different Torah reading than we would normally have. Normally, we would be reading Parshat Shmini, if I'm not mistaken, which we will then pick up again next Shabbat in our regular cycle. But for the holiday of Pesach, each day of Chol HaMoed actually has different Torah readings. So if we were really doing things accordingly, we'd be in shul every morning and we'd be doing all sorts of readings. But this morning's reading is a larger section, but we're going to focus on the end of it, which comes from Parshat Ki Tisa. Ki Tisa, which we read not so long ago, is one of the important chapters, Psukim, Prakim, at the end of the book of Exodus. It's the thing that's sandwiched in the middle between
the description or the instructions about the building of the Mishkan and its eventual building. And it's known more infamously as the parsha that contains the story of the golden calf, right? The moment in which our people lost faith, were worried and concerned that they hadn't seen Moses. He'd been up on the mountain getting instruction from God for 40 days, in which they turned to Aaron to create this idol, the exact embodiment of everything that this new idea of the Israelite Judaism, all of these things that were emerging, right? It was the creation of its exact antithesis. And it represents one of the really struggling moments of our people in our history in which we lost faith. And so what we're going to pick up this morning is actually in chapter 34 of Exodus, the beginning of chapter 34, which describes what happens after the unfortunate events. And let's remember that basically, as Moses comes down, he is shocked to see what's happening. He was carrying the first 2 tablets that God ultimately gives to Moshe with instructions, and he throws them down and he shatters them completely. So we'll talk about that a little bit more in our Torah study, which hopefully you'll join online after this. But if you're following the reading this morning, our reading starts on page 593 in the Plaid Chumash and on page 509 in the Women's Torah Commentary. Again, Women's Torah Commentary is page 509. Plaid Chumash is page 593. And if you're following at home, you're looking for Parshat Ki Tisa, you're looking for chapter 34, verse 1. So in thinking about this section of the Torah, right, and maybe it would be worthwhile just to read in English first what I'll be chanting in Hebrew in a moment. The Eternal One said to Moses, "Carve 2 tablets of stone like the first, and I will inscribe upon the tablets the words that were on the first tablet which you shattered. Be ready by morning, and in the morning come up to Mount Sinai and present yourself there to me, on the top of the mountain. No one else shall come up with you, and no one else shall be seen anywhere on the mountain, neither shall the flocks or the herds graze at the foot of this mountain." So Moses carved 2 tablets of stone like the first, and early in the morning he went up on Mount Sinai as the Eternal had commanded him, taking the 2 stone tablets with him. The Eternal came down in a cloud and stood with him there, proclaiming the name Eternal. Okay, so this is a very important section of the Torah for a lot of different reasons, but one of which is we get this first, not first, but one of the first examples in which God is referring to God's self as this Yud He Vav He, that we translate in various ways, Adonai, but here really talking about God's eternality. And the Eternal One passed before Moses and proclaimed, "Adonai, Adonai, Yud He Vav He, Yud He Vav He, the Eternal, a God compassionate and gracious, slow to anger, abounding in kindness and faithfulness, extending kindness to the 1,000th generation, forgiving iniquity, transgression, and sin, yet not remitting all punishment, but visiting the iniquity of parents upon children, and children's children upon the 3rd and 4th generation." And Moses hastened to bow low to the ground in homage, and said, "If I have gained your favor, O Lord, pray, my Lord, go out in our midst, even though this is a stiff-necked people. Pardon our iniquity and our sin, and take us for your own." And God said, "I hereby make a covenant. Before all your people I will work such wonders as have not been wrought on all the earth or in any nation, and all the people who are with you shall see how awesome are the Eternal's deeds, which I will perform for you." So we have, in addition to the breaking of the first set of tablets, the building of the golden calf, the reestablishing of a covenant, which is what's taking place here, the reconstruction of a second set of tablets, and also this first example in which God is really giving us any kind of description of God's godness, so to speak, which becomes the 13 attributes of mercy as we refer to them, which are repeated certainly many times on Yom Kippur, but throughout all of the holidays when we usually do our Torah service, so those that are watching on Thursday morning, we do this repetition 3 times of these 13 attributes. And these are core, basically, to our understanding of God. They're one of the most helpful instances in the Torah in which we get some kind of image of God's view of God's self, which is a radical theology in its own right? But that's the way in which God is describing God's self. Tradition, we ascribe to God strength, might, the Lord of hosts, the God of hosts, meaning armies, all sorts of things like that. And yet, In this particular case, when God is referring to God's self, right, what do we hear about? What is it really about? First, right, again, God's eternality, the idea that God exists throughout all space and time, that there are no restrictions to God's godness. But also that God, first and foremost, is compassionate, gracious, slow to anger, abounding in kindness and faithfulness, extending kindness to the thousandth generation, forgiving iniquity, transgression, and sin. Okay? Yes, it's balanced out by saying, also, God doesn't forget if we act in an improper fashion, we're going to hear about that too. But the starting point isn't with the anger, the starting point isn't with the strength or the might of the armies. Right? The starting point for our God is a God of compassion. And I think it's embodied not just in this statement, but the very fact that there is a second set of tablets. That there is a Jewish people that continued on, that the Israelites ultimately were not entirely wiped out. While that may have been God's first impulse until Moses interceded. At the end of the day, what we know is that there was a second chance. And not just a second chance, there wasn't a second chance after you prove yourselves. Right? There was a complete recommitting to and a reestablishment of this brita, of this covenant. And I think it's a different image than repairing a broken relationship. Right? We use that image a lot of times, that description a lot of times, and when something is broken, that we mean to repair it, right? To stitch it back together in some form or the other. But in the case of the luchot, in the case of the tablets themselves, in the case of the brit itself, and in case of the faith that basically was meant to exist between the people and God, it wasn't going to work to repair it in that kind of way, right? In the way in which we stitch things back together, or we sew things back together, or staple things back together, or glue things back together, right? When you do that, there is always going to be this sort of symbol that it was a repaired relationship, but the brokenness will be there and be obvious. But in this particular case, God didn't want to go in that direction. Instead, there was a decision to really start from scratch, right? To create a second set of tablets. And in this case, and we'll talk about it more in the Torah study, right? Instead of God inscribing them, Moses inscribes them, right? So there's already also a learning process here, which is to say that when they restart the relationship, God realizes that there needs to be more ownership taken on the human part of the equation. That if it's all God-given, and if there's no interaction on the human part, then it's destined to fail. Right? The people lost their faith. They needed to do something physically. They were getting antsy. So there is a sense here, I think, if I'm reading into it, that God understands that. And part of God's compassion is to say, we're going to try, if it didn't work the first time this way, right? We're not going to just try to piece it back together. We're going to start from scratch. And in my experience, when we have broken relationships, for example, with other people, if we try to repair the relationship, it's usually a good first step, but inevitably the pain is still there. There are all these sort of obvious signals and signs that things are being held together, but they're not naturally fit back together. They haven't fused back together again. And then it really oftentimes takes a complete resetting of the relationship and building something new from scratch in order to really move forward. And it's not to say that one is better than the other. It's simply to say that there are different moments in life that require different responses. And I think that if I can make a suggestion, when, God willing, the time comes, all right, our quarantine is ended, we can go back out into the world, we can continue to go about our lives, that we don't just look at it as an opportunity for repairing, right? We have some repairing to do for sure. But let's also look at it as an opportunity for starting fresh, right? Starting with a new set of tablets, starting with a new relationship, a new brit, a new covenant. Right? Let's emerge out of this really with a mindset of trying to do everything better and differently. And not just to basically try to hold it together by artificial means, but to really get down to the brass tacks, to get down to the basis. And it starts with us. Right? It starts with taking this opportunity for a period of self-reflection, forced self-reflection may be. But let's look at it as an opportunity for each of us in our own places, in our own hearts, in our own homes, in our own family relationships, to really try to reestablish something from new. And I think in that vein, that may be the best thing that we could possibly do for ourselves, for our world, and ultimately for our relationship with God. So with that, I wish you all a Shabbat Shalom. And as I said in our Torah study afterwards, we were going to get into a lot of different descriptions and discussions about the breaking of the tablets, the creation of the second tablets. It's really some wonderful midrash that I think will get all of us really thinking. So just a reminder again, we're going to begin with the first verse of chapter 34, continuing until the 10th verse. Plav Chumash, page 593, Women's Torah Commentary, page 509. And as I've been doing the last few weeks, I will do the Aliyah, and all in one form. Let me just get a yad. And as I've said the last few times, just it's hard to be a Torah reader without a gabbai, so I will do my very, very best. Hope that I do not make any mistakes, but if I make them at home, please shout it out loud so at least you're not culpable for letting me do it. Okay. Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamvorach. Baruch Adonai Hamvorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol hamim v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Amen. Vayomer Adonai el Moshe Pesol lecha shnei luchot avanim kerishonim v'chatavti al haluchot et hadvarim asher hayu al haluchot harishonim asher shibarta v'haya nachon laboker v'alita baboker el har Sinai v'nitzavta li sham al rosh hahar ve'ish lo yaleh imach v'gam ish al yera bechol hahar gam hatzon ve'habakar al yeru el mul hahar hahu vayifsol shnei luchot avanim karishonim vayashkem Moshe baboker vayal el har Sinai kasher tiva Adonai oto vayikach biyado shnei luchot avanim vayered Adonai be'anan vayityatzeb imo sham vayikra b'shem Adonai vayavor Adonai al panav vayikra Adonai Adonai el rachum v'chanun erech apayim v'rav chesed v'emet notzer chesed le'alafim nosei avon v'afesha v'chata v'nakeh lo yinakeh oked avon avon al banim ve'al bnei banim al sheleshim ve'al ribeim vayimaher Moshe vayikod arza vayishtachu vayomer imna matzati chen meinecha Adonai Yelech na Adonai bakirvenu ki am kashe oref hu vesalachta lavono ulachatotenu unachlato vayomer hine anochi karet haberit neged kol amecha eseh niflaot asher lo niberu bechol haaretz ובכל הגויים וראה כל העם אשר אתה בקרבו את מעשה אדוני כי נורא הוא אשר Imach. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam, nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Amen. And now we'll just take a moment with our Torah still in our midst to offer our Misha Berach, our prayer for healing. And as of course we think of those that we know personally, we are adding throughout this period in our hearts and minds all of those around the world who are suffering from this terrible, terrible virus. And again, also remembering and thinking of those who are working so hard in support of healing them, and all of the people around us who are helping to keep our lives still functioning. So we offer this Misha Berach both for healing and for all of those supporting that healing effort. Mishaberach Avotenu v'Imotenu Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah Hu Yivarech et HaCholim Ha'elu. We think first of those in our community and connected to our community in need of healing. Joanne Sanborn, Jean Ben Sadun, Gloria Taradash, Andrea Klausner, Judy Stern, Miriam Cornfield, Raz Brody, Chana Ruth Bat Sarah, Marlise Silverberg, Louis Davidson, Susan Spruce, Bagel Tzipora Bat Elisheva Bat Sarah, Richard Gambino, Michelle Sawicki, Idol Basha Bat Yitzchak, Tzvi Menachem Ben Chaim, Rivka Bat Devora, Amy and Gavin Tucker, Janice Kurz, David Dowling, Neil Elliott and Eileen Rosen, Israel Ben Yitzchak, Ben Sion Ben Moshe, Lorraine Danis, Buddy Kassoff, Shelley Newmark, David Kyle Klopman, Rivka Bat Rachel, Sarah Bat Chana, Moshe Eliezer, Ben Sibia, Peretz Ben Yehuda, and Leah Bat Naomi. If you're thinking of anyone else this morning who's in need of healing, I'll invite you to say those names aloud right now. And if you have any names that you would like me to add to our Misha Berach list, please just email me and let me know. So please say the names at home. HaKadosh Baruch Hu yimaleh rachamim alehem, lahachalimam, larapotam, lachazikam, v'yishlach lehem mehera refuah shlema min hashamayim, refuat ha-nefesh, refuat ha-guf, hashta b'agalav bizman kariv v'nomar. Amen. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal those who are suffering. May the Blessed Holy One be filled with compassion for their health to be restored and their strength to be revived. May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit, and let us say together, Amen. El na refana la, el na refana la, el na refana la, refuah shelema. El na refana lo, el na refana lo, el na refanalo, refuah shelema. And we now rise for Hagba and Galila. Yamod Hamabia Galil. V'zot haTorah asher sa Moshe lifnei b'nei Yisrael al pi Adonai b'yad Moshe. Torah, 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 Torah tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 Torah tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 Torah tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 Torah tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 Torah tziva lanu Moshe. Okay, please be seated at home. This morning's Haftarah is a special Haftarah for Chol HaMoed Pesach. If you happen to have a Plaut Chumash at home, it's on page 1465, 1465. And if not, and you're looking online, you'd be looking for the book of Ezekiel, chapter 37, verses 1 to 14. And the connection to this morning's reading to the holiday Pesach in general, this is the famous vision of the Valley of Dry Bones, which is a fascinating conversation in its own right. But basically, again, the Shabbat of Pesach, the Pesach in general, is really all about the theme of redemption and of deliverance. And while the story of Pesach is about the deliverance of our people from slavery in a tangible form, this is ultimately speaking of the future deliverance from exile. So this was, again, Ezekiel is a later prophet, so understanding the experience of being able to come home. And we are experiencing sort of the opposite of that right now, right? We are in our homes, and we are excited about the day and looking forward to the day in which we will be exiled from our own home, so to speak, when we will be free to wander again. So we hope and pray that will be soon. If you'd like to join along with me in the blessings, they're on page 372 in our prayer books. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar b'nviim tovim, v'ratzav v'divreihem hanemarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai, habocher b'torah u'Moshe avto, u'Yisrael amo v'nvi'eh ha'emet v'hatzedek. The hand of the Eternal was upon me, leading me out by God's Spirit and setting me down in the middle of a valley. It was full of bones, and God led me all around them. There were a great many of them spread on the surface of the valley, and they were very dry. God said to me, "Mortal, can these bones live?" I answered, "O God Eternal, you alone know." Then God said to me, "Prophesy to those bones, and say to them, you dry bones, hear the word of the Eternal. Thus says the Eternal God of these bones, Behold, I will cause breath to enter you, and you shall live. I will put sinews on you, and cover you with flesh, and spread skin over you. I will put breath into you, and you shall live. Then you shall know that I am the Eternal. I prophesied as I had been commanded, and as I prophesied, there was a loud noise, a sound, and the bones came together, bone to matching bone. I looked and saw sinews and flesh and skin spread over them from above, but there was no breath in them. Then God said to me, Mortal, prophesy to the breath, O prophecy, and say to the breath, Thus says the Eternal God, Come, breathe from the four corners, breath from the four corners, and breathe into these slain bodies that they may live again. I prophesied as God commanded me, and the breath came into them, and they came to life. They stood on their feet, an exceedingly great army. Then God said to me, Mortal, these bones are in the whole house of Israel. They say, Our bones are dried up, our hope is lost, we are cut off from life. And therefore prophesy to them and say, Thus says the Eternal God, I am going to open your graves, my people. I will lift you out of your graves and bring you home to the land of Israel. And when I have opened your graves and lifted you out of them, my people, you shall know that I am the Eternal. I will put my breath into you, and you shall live again, and I will place you in your own land. Then, says the Eternal One, you shall know that I, the Eternal, have spoken and acted. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, sur kol haolamim, tzadik bechol adorot, ha'el ha'ne'eman ha'omer ve'oseh, ha'mdaber u'mkayem, shekol dibarav emet v'tzedek, על התורה ועל העבודה ועל הנביאים ועל יום השבת הזה שנתת לנו אדוני אלוהינו לקדושה ולמנוחה לכבוד ולתפארת על הכל אדוני אלוהינו אנחנו מודים לך ומברכים אותך יתברך שמך בפי כל חי תמיד לעולם ועד ברוך אתה אדוני Mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen. We remain standing as we turn to page, or we rise as we turn to page 376, as we first offer a prayer for our country and then a prayer for the state of Israel. O guardian of life and liberty, may our nation always merit your protection. Teach us to give thanks for what we have by sharing it with those who are in need. Keep our eyes open to the wonders of creation and alert to the care of the earth. May we never be lazy in the work of peace. May we honor those who have died in defense of our ideals. Grant our leaders wisdom and forbearance. May they govern with justice and compassion. Help us all to appreciate one another and to respect the many ways that we may serve you. May our homes be safe from affliction and strife, and our country be sound in body and spirit. Amen. Prayer for the State of Israel, page 377. Avinu Shabashamayim Tzur Yisrael v'goalo, Barech et Medinat Yisrael Reshit Tzmichat Geulatenu. Hagen aleha be'evrat chastecha, ufros aleha sukat shalomecha, ushlach orcha ve'amitcha l'rasheha sareha v'yotzea. V'tagneim be'etzah tova milfanecha, v'natata shalom ba'aretz, v'simchat olam le'yoshveha v'nomar. Amen. O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, bless the State of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love, spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Amen. Remain standing as we turn to page 374 to return the Torah to the ark. Ya'alelu et Shem Adonai, Yizkav Shemo levado, Odo al eretz v'shamayim, Vayarem keren li'amo, Tehila lecho hasidav, Livnei Yisrael am kerovo. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Hi lekach tov natati lachem, Torati al tavzohu, et chaim hi, lama chazikim ba, vetomcheha meushar, deracheha, darchei noam, vechol netivoteha, shalom, hashirenu Adonai, elecha v'nashuva, chadesh, chadesh yameinu, chadesh yameinu, kekedem. You remain standing as we turn to page 586 at the bottom of the page. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, lateit kedula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu kigoyei haratzot, velo samanu kimishmechot adama, shelo samu chelkenu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol amonam, vanachnu korim, ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא נהיה אדוני אחד ושמו echad. I ask those at home who are observing a yahrzeit or remembering a loved one who's passed in recent months to please remain standing. We think first of those in our community who have died in recent months: Florence Bass, Barbara Friedman, Lee Friedman, Arlene Mandelbaum, Meyer Osofsky, Lisa Schneidman, and Sandy Friedman. We also mark the yahrzeits that occurred during the last week for Istvan Benjamin, Steve Bergman, Sheila Brick, Hilda Berger, Rachel Cherish, Edith Dobson, Woodrow Emanuel, Jacob Falk, Mildred Gauze, Stephanie Glazer, Max Giroux, Sylvia Klinitsky, Milton Kelmans, Joseph Kirsch, David Krotman, Ray Meyer, Ida Millman, Bernard Mintz, Morris Newmark, Shayna Dina Kaplan Price, Sarah Quiros Ramirez, Fanny Siegel Ratner, Joseph Rothbart, Julia Scavron, Edith Schwab, Emily Ruth Segelstein, Ruth Silverberg, Max Silver, Jacob Spitz, Henry Spitzer, Walter Vargas, and William David Weiss. And if there's anyone that you're thinking of at home that we didn't mention, this would be the opportunity for you to mention those names. And of course, in addition to those closest to us, we think of all of those around the world who have already lost their lives, unfortunately, because of this terrible virus. And as I said, along with those that we know, we hold the hearts of the unknown as well. Hold in our hearts the unknown as well. Please join with me on page 598. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divra chirutei ve'amlich malchutei, v'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, b'agala v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shemei rabbah mevarach le'alam u'le'almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei d'kudsha berichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tush b'chata v'nechemata ta'amiran ve'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shalom rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Zichronam livracha, may every one of their memories be for a blessing. Please be seated at home, and Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Before we end our service with Adon Olam and then with Kiddush, just a couple announcements. And as I said last night, I'm very excited about the fact that I can make announcements again, that there are things to announce. The first is for our members, there's going to be Torah study immediately following services at noon. You should have already gotten the invitation for Zoom. If not, email me and I will get that to you. If you're not a member and you're interested in joining up for our Torah study, we're happy to have you, but we need to know who you are before we can let you in. Unfortunately, the nature of Zoom there, if we put the invitation out there in the world, it can open up all sorts of cans of worms. So if you're interested and you're not a member, just email me. My temple email address is on our website. Email me directly, introduce yourself, let me know who you are, make sure that you're not a robot or a hacker. And I'll be happy to give you the information to log in for our Torah study, and we will continue it throughout the experience that we're in by Zoom. And the same idea last night, which was a great success for the first night of having Oneg Shabbat after Friday night services on Zoom as well. Also to look forward to a few other things, some classes, some other programs that we're putting together that will be all online. As soon as the holiday of Passover is over, look for information about that that's upcoming. So, with that, I wish you all a Shabbat Shalom. As I said, we'll conclude our service with Adon Olam and then Kiddush. Adon Olam is on page 625 in our prayer books. And this is, again, if you're following at home, go to the table of contents and go for the section that says Songs and Hymns, which would be the end of the book. Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yetzir Nivra Li'et nasa b'chefzo kol Azai melech shemo nikra V'acharei kichlot hakol Levado yimloch nora Ve'hu haya ve'hu hove Ve'hu yeh betifara Ve'hu echad li'en sheni להמשיל לו להכבירה, בלי ראשית, בלי תכלית, ולא העוז והמשרה, והוא אלי וחי גואלים, וצור חבלי בעת צרה, והוא ניסי ומנוס לי, מנת כוסי ביום אקרא בידו, Avkid ruchi, ve'tishan ve'aira, ve'im ruchi geviati, Adonai li ve'lo ira. Okay, we turn now to page 604, Kiddush for Shabbat morning, page 604. If you're using the table of contents, it's located under Blessings for the Home and Synagogue. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. על כן ברך אדוני את יום השבת ויקדשהו סברי. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, בורא פרי הגפן. Amen. Chaim. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. For those that will join us for Torah study, we'll begin at noon. Give a few minutes to get everything together, bring your food to the computer. I hope to see you online in just a few. Shabbat Shalom.